Part 3. Live broadcast, Tiger Roaring Grassland, Slap the Lion to Death. Author, The Poetry of Gilgamesh. Chapter 21. Feeling the strength of his physique, Chu-Bai showed a confident gaze. He stretched out his forelimbs, which were covered with muscles. From this moment on, he officially became a hunter in this grassland. In this game of prey versus hunter, he will stand at the top. Weight 300 kilograms. That's 600 pounds. In terms of size alone, it is comparable to the Siberian tiger, the largest of the tiger species. Judging by the analog information, he is a well-deserved tiger king. Ordinary male lions are no longer his opponents, even if they are powerful lion kings, they are helpless against him. Once the adrenaline is activated, the lightning spree, he will crush the Lion King. Seeing that there was still food on the tree, Chu-Bai did not go out to hunt. He tore the beef into chunks, evenly distributed on the branches, and prepared to dry it. Because corpses are prone to decay, he didn't want to eat carrion. In the live broadcast room, everyone was so shocked by the scene that they couldn't speak. What's the situation? Although number 68 is very human, it's outrageous, isn't it? It's air-drying beef. Honestly, it can't be reborn by the old 6, right? Don't be surprised, number 68 was raised by humans, and his knowledge is naturally stronger than that of ordinary tigers. Everyone discussed for a while, feeling the IQ of the South China tiger. It's only 8 o'clock in the morning. There are tens of millions of netizens in the live broadcast room. Wait, isn't number 68 big again? Not to mention, it's really getting bigger. Although it seems to have not changed, if you look closely at its body, the streamlined muscles are full of explosive power. This also shows in disguise that tigers such as tigers cannot be raised. The wild is their home turf. As everyone discussed, another few hours passed. During this period, countless netizens poured in. The number of people reached a terrifying 5 or 6 billion. It's some large-scale international events, and I'm afraid that not so many people will watch them. Men Xian's report. Just watched that video, is this tiger? At first glance, it is domineering and leaky, and it is worthy of defeating dozens of jackals. It's just good. Western netizens began to be yin and yang. By far the most popular is the South China tiger. And the tiger represents the East, and as Westerners, they naturally don't want to see the tiger in the limelight. Good luck. You have the ability to let the lion defeat dozens of jackals. Not to mention dozens of jackals, even dozens of spotted hyenas, lions may have to take a detour. Oriental netizens sneered. Good news, good news. Just now, the Goryeo tiger of my universe kingdom successfully hunted a bison. After a while, netizens from the cosmic kingdom collectively appeared to build momentum for the Goryeo tiger. Although the tigers belong to the same East, they are also divided into camps. For example, the South China tiger. Nature represents the dragon kingdom. On this planet, only the dragon country has a South China tiger. The representative of the cosmic kingdom is the Goryeo tiger, the representative of the White Bear Federation is the Siberian tiger, and the representative of Asan is the Bengal tiger. On the other side, Chu-Bai had already finished drying the bison. He lay on the branch and began to simulate. As the information emerged, the first simulation got 400,000 flesh essences, the second simulation got 300,000 essences, and the third simulation got 60 essences. The fourth time was very lucky, it was 1 million flesh essence. Total, 2,300,000 flesh and blood essence. But I didn't have good luck with the analog card and the crit card, and I only got a mock card, a crit card. With food, Chu-Bai did not hunt. 3 days passed. In addition to eating, drinking, and leisure, Chu-Bai was almost exercising. The flesh essence he obtained strengthened his physique, but he still needed to be trained to use it proficiently. Boom. At noon, the sky was cloudy. Chu Bai looked up and finally waited for the rain. For the arid grasslands and countless animals, this rain is life-saving rain. Boom. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning fell. Impartial, it hit the big tree where Chu Bai was. In an instant, the current surged. Chu Bai felt his body stiffen all of a sudden, and his brain seemed to be connected with his body at that moment. I don't know how long it took for him to open his eyes. The trees had fallen and a fire was blazing nearby. Fire! Chu Bai's eyes lit up. Didn't he say that he could eat cooked food? Thinking of this, he swept around, and sure enough, he saw air-dried beef roasting in the fire. Chu Bai looked up at the drone again. There is drone filming, and he certainly can't just throw the beef into the fire. However, it's not entirely impossible. He tossed the cooked food in the fire, and after taking a bite, he pretended to be surprised, and then threw the beef into the fire, and once again pretended as if he had opened a new world, and found an excuse for this. Live broadcast, Tiger Roaring Grassland, Slap the Lion to Death. Author, The Poetry of Gilgamesh. Chapter 22. That's right, number 68 actually eats cooked food. Seeing the South China tiger throwing the beef jerky into the fire, and then fishing it out to eat, the live broadcast room was stunned. This has never been the case. Beasts of prey eat cooked food? How strange this looks. What's the matter? Didn't we humans also get the first spark from the heavenly thunder, and then embarked on the road of eating cooked food? Isn't that strange? We are human beings, and our talents are all in intelligence. Is it possible? In the process of raising in the reserve, South China tigers have also eaten cooked food. There was a discussion in the live broadcast room. In any case, the humanity of number 68 is recognized. At the same time, even the three hosts also discussed. Lisabelle asked, "Mr. Fat Tiger, you have been raising tigers for many years, have you ever seen this happen?" "Honestly, never seen one." Sun Wei smiled and shook his head. He continued, "We humans eat cooked food because we are afraid of the parasites in the raw meat, and the beasts of prey do not have this need. During the evolution of eating raw meat, certain physiological characteristics of carnivores gradually adapted to carnivorous properties, such as a shorter digestive tract, more developed cilia in the intestine to absorb nutrients more efficiently, strong acidity in gastric juice, and a large number of secretase glands. The high strength of gastric acid can effectively kill most of the bacteria and viruses in meat, and it can also effectively destroy parasites or inhibit the reproduction of parasites. So, carnivores don't have to eat cooked food, and this doesn't happen." "I see." Lisabelle nodded yes. She glanced at the tablet and said with a smile, "Ladies and gentlemen, the program team has sent news that after 3 days of voting, our tiger naming rights have been announced. Now let's look at the name of the tiger." After a while, the information page appeared in the live broadcast room. The number 1 hot. Not surprisingly, it was the number 68 South China tiger. The name Shanjun has 200 million popularity, which is very high. The second place is still number 68, and the champion Ho has 160 million popularity. The third place is still number 68. General Huawei has 140 million heat. In other words, the number 68 South China tiger officially has a name from today. Mountain Kun. The meaning is simple. It means the king of mountain beasts, or directly the king of beasts. Very minimalist and domineering. It also revealed netizens' recognition of Shanjun's combat effectiveness. The fourth and second most popular tiger is the Siberian tiger of the White Bear Federation. It has a huge body of more than 380 kilograms and has gained a lot of fans. Named, Katyusha. The name is no surprise. very much in line with the characteristics of the battle clan. Third place, Asan's Bengal tiger. Named Shakti, he is a great god in mythology, which shows Asan's expectations for the Bengal tiger. Bengal tigers are formidable predators. In size, it is second only to the Siberian tiger. Since then, more than 80 tigers have been named after entering the tropical continent. Except for the 20 that died. Although the tiger is the king of mountain beasts, in the face of the lion alliance on the grassland, the Lone Ranger obviously suffered a big loss. It's only 3 days. Nearly 20 tigers have been killed. Good news, good news. Our country's 12 Bengal tigers have formed an alliance and will roam the grasslands and reign over the world. After a while, Asan became excited. Sure enough, the live broadcast cut to the 12 tigers. All are Bengal tigers. In addition, the Bengal tiger is already huge, as if all the evil forces are involved. It's a sense of déjà vu. Brought oppression to many netizens. As the country with the largest number of tigers, the 3 countries donated 12 Bengal tigers for this lion and tiger fight. Unexpectedly, 12 Bengal tigers formed an alliance. For a while, the 3 were excited. Obviously, the protagonist has changed hands. Before Shanjun's popularity, the live broadcast screen was all Shanjun. Now it's different, the live broadcast screen is given to the Bengal tiger. The good Asan named this alliance 12 Heavens, which means the 12 heavenly beings in Buddhism. Mr. Fat Tiger, what do you think? In the live broadcast room, Lisa was looked at Sun Wei. As we all know, tigers are loners. It probably has something to do with the environment. Sun Wei thought for a moment, but he was also a little confused. He had never seen anything like this. How do you say that? Lisabel asked. Sun Wei thought for a while and said, as the old saying goes, one mountain cannot tolerate 2 tigers, and the reason why tigers live alone is because in a mountain forest, few animals can threaten tigers. But the tropical continent is clearly different. Perhaps, that's exactly why. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Live broadcast, Tiger Roaring Grassland, Slap the Lion to Death. Author, The Poetry of Gilgamesh. Chapter 23. Under Lisabel's questioning, Sun Wei continued, the reason why the 12 Bengal tigers formed an alliance and changed their previous habits is not difficult to answer. The answer is simple. Just look at the creatures of the grasslands. Hippos, elephants, bison, and lions are all social creatures, and in this case, if the tiger walks alone, the living space will inevitably be squeezed. I had imagined this before, but I didn't expect it to come so quickly, and in just 3 days, the tiger adapted to the environment of the grassland. The Bengal tiger is awesome. 12 days is awesome. For a while, the 3 were excited. There is no doubt about it. At this moment, the Bengal tiger is the protagonist. For the mighty Lion King, the number is meaningless. If you meet the Bad Boys League, this Bengal tiger will definitely be vulnerable. Western netizens sneered. Westerners are extremely confident in the power of the Bad Boys League. This powerful alliance of lions has already killed 200 lions, and the record can be described as terrifying. So far, there has never been such an alliance. While discussing in the live broadcast room, Chu Bai ate all the beef. The food has been consumed. Naturally, I had to go out hunting. In addition, the most important thing is to demarcate your own territory. As the king of tigers, how can there be no territory? Chu Bai didn't want to be sleeping, and there were some fierce beasts intruding. So, enclosure is a must. It is to tell all beasts not to trespass, and if they do, the Lord will inevitably break out in battle in order to defend his dignity. Gradually, the sun sets the horizon. Chu Bai's state has also changed, from leisurely to serious. His skill will make the body temperature too high, and if it is a scorching sun, it will be dangerous if the body temperature does not drop quickly. So, the sun goes down is the best time. After a while, Chu Bai found his prey. It's a cheetah. With his current strength, ordinary small animals can no longer meet the requirements of flesh and blood essence, and must hunt some powerful beasts. Cheetahs are clearly the most suitable. Cheetahs, except for their speed, are inferior to other large animals in terms of strength. It can not only meet the requirements of flesh essence, but also ensure safety. After a while, Chu Bai's cat got up. He crawled in the jungle, slowly approaching the cheetah. As a feline, he walked lightly and did not make a sound. The cheetah did not seem to realize that danger was coming, and was lying under the tree to cool off. Shanjun wants to deal with cheetahs. For a while, netizens in the live broadcast room looked stupid. Cheetah, the king of surface speed. In the steppe, few animals can outperform cheetahs in speed. Even a strong male lion will not choose a cheetah as his prey, which is a sign of respect for a strong opponent. Self-inflicted humiliation. How dare Shanjun? With the speed of a cheetah, a single smoke can leave the mountain monarch behind. Western netizens were disdainful and ridiculed. I don't blame Shanjun, after all, it's the first time I've been to the grassland, and I don't understand the situation. In the mountains and forests, the tiger can be king, but this is the prairie, not its hunting ground. In addition to the taunts, there are also yin and yang weird voices. Not necessarily. Have you forgotten that the mountain lord is not slow? So what? The mountain king is indeed fast, but he can still be faster than the fastest speed king on the surface. Live room. The three moderators also started the discussion. Lisabelle looked at Sun Wei and said with a smile, "Mr. Fat Tiger, do you think the speed of the tiger can be better than that of the cheetah?" Naturally not. Sun Wei shook his head slightly. It's fair. Now you know, right? Even tiger experts have said that hunting cheetahs is completely self-inflicted. Western netizens saw that tiger expert Sun Wei was weak, and they spoke one after another for a while, which quickly flooded the interface. But at this time, Sun Wei sold a pass. Lisabelle looked over and asked, "Looks like Mr. Fat Tiger has other ideas." Sun Wei said with a smile, "Under normal circumstances, cheetahs on flat ground are naturally superior, but don't forget, the battle between the mountain monarch and the jackal has shown a speed far beyond that of ordinary tigers. So I think that even if Shanjun is inferior to cheetah in speed, he should not be left far behind as netizens said. What do you think, Mr. Professor?" As the host, Lisabelle is naturally good at the effect of the show, and she looks at Professor Kapil. "There's nothing to say about it?" Professor Kapil shook his head and said, "As we all know, no animal can keep up with cheetahs in terms of speed, and there is no need to discuss this issue." In other words, the professor disagrees with Mr. Fat Tiger. The corners of Lisabelle's mouth curled up with a smile of triumphant intrigue. Live broadcast, Tiger Roaring Grassland, Slap the Lion to Death. Author, The Poetry of Gilgamesh. Chapter 24. In other words, the professor disagrees with Mr. Fat Tiger. The corners of Lisabelle's mouth were hooked, with a smile of triumphant triumph. It's not a matter of disagreeing. Professor Kapil shook his head and said, "I have been working in the reserve for 20 years, and in terms of strength, cheetahs cannot be compared to large animals such as lions, but they can be far behind them in terms of speed, which is the balance of nature. It is true that Mr. Sun Wei is an expert on tigers, but he still has a little less knowledge of grassland creatures, and I dare to assert that this tiger will never catch up with the cheetah." Scattered, scattered. Even Professor Kapil said that there was no need to argue now. Although Western netizens say scattered, they are the ones who say the most. There are no absolutes. The speed of the mountain is obvious to all. Although Longwo netizens also think that cheetahs are the fastest, they still can't get used to the faces of Western netizens. Although Westerners love lions. But there's no need to belittle the tiger, right? Shanjun is indeed fast, but can he be faster than a cheetah? You just wait to be slapped in the face. In the jungle, Chu Bai held his breath and tiptoed closer to the cheetah. Cheetahs are fast, that's a fact. Even if he started the lightning attack, he was not sure that he would be able to hunt the cheetah. The two sides are not the same. Cheetah's long-term running will naturally accelerate the rise of body temperature, but the perennial evolution has allowed cheetahs to have a heat dissipation system for excessive body temperature. But he was very different. He doesn't have a mechanism for cooling down quickly. Therefore, even if he is faster than a cheetah, once he enters a tug of war, his durability is not necessarily comparable to that of a cheetah. He had to be careful. Fight for a one-hit kill. Soon, Chu Bai approached the cheetah 30 meters. I don't know if it sensed the danger coming, and the cheetah crawled up. It looked around, as if puzzled. Chu Bai lay in the jungle. Motionless. Able to survive in the harsh grasslands, all the animals that survive have a certain sense of danger. Time passes bit by bit. Chu Bai still didn't move. It's like a stone statue. Wait for the best moment to come. As a good hunter, you must have enough patience and enough mental quality. From this point of view, he has a huge advantage. A minute passes. 2 minutes passed. When 3 minutes passed, when the cheetah let down his vigilance, Chu Bai slowly moved forward. 25 meters. 20 meters. 15 meters. 10 meters. As the two sides gradually approached, the cheetah did not know whether it sensed danger or smelled a different smell, and it suddenly stood up. At this moment, Chu Bai pounced violently. Lightning strike, on. As soon as the cheetah discovered that danger was coming, Chu Bai had already pounced on him. Whew! The figure flickered, and the cheetah was gone. It's like teleporting. It's extremely fast. But Chu Bai's speed was obviously faster. Coupled with a sneak attack, he pounced on the cheetah at once, and his huge claws slapped on the cheetah's head. With a bang, the cheetah rolled to the ground. Chu Bai pounced again, bit the cheetah's neck, and directly locked its throat. Whew! The cheetah let out a low roar. Its legs slammed into a slam, and it burst out with unimaginable speed at the moment of life and death, instantly breaking free from Chu Bai's bloody mouth and catapulting out like an arrow. At the same time, Chu Bai chased after him like thunder. It all seems like a lot of action. But in fact, it only happened in the light of light. Chu Bai's thunderous sneak attack, the undoubted speed of the cheetah, was completed in just 1 second, and it was shocking to see the live broadcast room. This kind of speed and hunting is like art. 666. It's so fast. What happened? I just blinked, and the Mountain King and the cheetah were gone. The professor is right, the speed of the cheetah is indeed the strongest on the surface. In the midst of the discussion, a tiger and a leopard have started a chase battle. It's as fast as it gets. Even drones can't shoot. It wasn't until the field of vision widened that I saw two lightning-like figures. For a time, everyone was shocked. The speed of the run, the extreme movement, are full of violent beauty. This cheetah is so fast. Wait, Shanjun caught up with the cheetah. At this moment, netizens were shocked to find that the tiger gradually caught up with the cheetah. How is that possible? Cheetahs are the king of speed. Look, it's said that Shanjun's speed is not bad, now believe it, right? With such a fast speed, it has obviously surpassed the cheetah. The title of the fastest speed on the surface seems to be changing hands. Live broadcast, Tiger Roaring Grassland, slap the lion to death. Author, The Poetry of Gilgamesh. Chapter 25. On the plain, two figures galloped, rolling up puffs of smoke and dust. A tiger, a cheetah. Under the watchful eye, the cheetah is getting slower and slower, while the tiger is getting faster and faster. Shanjun is awesome. At this speed, who is the king of the strongest speed on the surface? In the live broadcast room, everyone was boiling. It's just a sneak attack. If it weren't for the Mountain King's sneak attack and seriously injured the cheetah, how could it outrun the cheetah? Western netizens sneered, and their mouths were hard all over the body. The facts are right in front of you. Isn't a lion hunt also a sneak attack? This is the way of hunting. Do you have to tell the beasts that you are going to kill them? Bang bang bang. With the sound of a clear and audible heartbeat, Chu Bai's speed became faster and faster. Gradually, the two sides gradually approached. Unexpectedly, the cheetah made a sudden stop, turned his head and ran in the opposite direction. Chu Bai's reaction was also extremely fast, and at the same time, he rushed up, and a flying pounce bit the cheetah, and the huge impact force made a tiger and a leopard roll out for more than 10 meters. As soon as the cheetah got up and wanted it, Chu Bai slapped it to the ground. In the next second, blood splattered. Chu Bai directly locked his throat and completely controlled the cheetah. Whoa! A low roar rang out. The cheetah struggled to roll, but it could not escape Chu Bai's bloody mouth. With the blood flowing, the cheetah gradually lost its motion. After 5 or 6 minutes, Chu Bai made sure that the cheetah was out of breath before he let go. He climbed the tree with the cheetah in his mouth, easily tore open the cheetah's body, gnawed on its flesh, and absorbed the essence of the flesh. After a full meal, Chu Bai stretched his waist. When his temperature drops, he'll have to find his own land. Live room. Netizens started talking again. Which beast just asserted that it was impossible for a tiger to catch up with a cheetah? The brick family is called a beast, and everyone who understands it understands. Haha. In the midst of cynicism, Professor Kupil's face turned grim. The tiger challenged his knowledge. This is completely unscientific. Seeing the heated discussion and ridicule among netizens, Professor Kupil said, "It's just a special situation, which doesn't mean anything." Yo and? Haha, I laughed. If Professor Kupil were to be sent to the doctors would not necessarily be able to pry his mouth open. All over the body, it is estimated that only the mouth is the hardest. Kupil snorted coldly and said, "A lot of data is needed for scientific research. A tiger ran past a cheetah. This is just a special case. I admit that Shanjun is fast, but this is not science. Unless all the tigers can outrun the cheetah, then I'll take it." On the branches, after the body temperature dropped, Chu Bai left the place. At this point, the moonlight dissolves. About an hour later, Chu Bai stopped in a small mountainous area. He walked around the area, and it was all endless flat land, and it was rare to find such a hillside. There are few trees on the upper hills. It is very much in line with the environment of the savanna. I don't know if it's a habit of life, Chu Bai likes this hill more. Immediately, he left urine and claw marks all around him, asserting his sovereignty over the mountain. Start the simulation. Chu Bai used the last analog card. Simulation begins. Your current status, Junior Tiger King. Day 1, you hunted a critter. Day 2, nothing happens. Day 3, the weather is hot, you are attacked by a crocodile while drinking water by the river, and you are dragged into the river by the crocodile, and at the last moment, you burst out with unimaginable power, not only escaping the crocodile's mouth, but dragging the crocodile ashore to kill. Hint, the devour talent takes effect, and you gain 1000 flesh essence. Day 4, you have demarcated the territory. Day 5, a wandering lion has invaded your territory, and in order to defend the Lord's authority, although you don't want to fight, you can only kill it to deter other opponents. Hint, the Devour talent takes effect, and you gain 1000 flesh essence. Hint, you get add 1 crit card. Day 6, a tiger breaks into your territory, you defeat it, and subdue the tiger. Day 7, the Lion Alliance named Defender expands its territory, conflicts break out with you, the Defender has 5 Lion Kings, you turn on Adrenaline, Lightning Strike, with 1 enemy 5, shock the audience, kill a Lion King with absolute strength, and finally 2 fists are invincible with 4 hands, you have no choice but to give up the territory and wander in all directions. Hint, the Devour talent takes effect, and you gain 2000 flesh units. Chubai frowned. There is no doubt that he is now capable of defeating a Lion King level lions. But the grasslands don't survive in the same way. The male lion is mostly an alliance. If he goes it alone, he will obviously suffer a lot. In these simulations, the Lion Alliance is a great threat to him, either fleeing or dying in battle. So, he had to make a change. Either rely on the heart of the gifted Tiger King and form a Tiger Alliance. Or, continue to strengthen yourself until you can stand up to the Lion League on your own. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Live broadcast, Tiger Roaring Grassland, slap the lion to death. Author, The Poetry of Gilgamesh. Chapter 26. Looking at the simulated information, Chubai understood that maybe it was time to make a change. In this step, animals are found in groups. Hyenas, jackals, lions, bison, elephants. It's all true. Natural selection, survival of the fittest. If you don't make changes, you will inevitably be eliminated by this grassland. Chubai couldn't change the general environment. I can only try to adapt to it. He has the talent of the heart of the Tiger King and can form a powerful Tiger Alliance in a short period of time. The same. You can also become stronger by relying on the system. Whether to take the line of alliance or personal force, he is still hesitating. Forget it, the car will naturally go straight before the mountain. Chubai decided to go with the flow. If you want to form a Tiger Alliance, you have to have a tiger. Immediately, he continued to watch the simulated information. Day 8, after 1 enemy and 5 enemies, you are famous. Day 9, a day of recuperation. Day 10, you hunted a critter. Day 11, nothing happens. Day 12, your injuries are getting better. Day 13, you hunted a hippopotamus alone. Hint, the Devour talent takes effect, and you gain 1000 flesh units. Day 14, you unintentionally stepped out of the reserve and into a human settlement, you killed a domestic cow and were evicted by the local population. Hint, the Devour talent takes effect, and you gain 1000 flesh units. Day 15, the police arrive and you are shot. End of simulation. In this simulation, you get 6000 units of energy, crit simulation card add 1, do you use crit card? Use. Chubai said in a deep voice. Hint, you use critical hit cards. Hint, flesh energy reaches super perfect crit x 199, for a total of 1,200,000 flesh essence. Hint, simulation card crit x2, a total of 2 cards. Hint, whether to extract or not. Extraction. Chubai said. Such a huge amount of flesh and blood essence would definitely have been able to produce a qualitative change if it had been before. But now it's just a little bit more powerful. Gradually, the moon set. As the dawn appears on the horizon, the grasslands seem to come to life. Chubai yawned and went to the filming vehicle where Su Menjiao and the others were. At this time, the girls were washing, and he joined in. What's the situation? I love bathing, good skin. In the live broadcast room, netizens who had just entered were dumbfounded. I saw that Shanjun was lying on the ground, and Su Menjiao and others were helping it take a bath. As filmmakers, Su Menjiao and others naturally live on the grassland. In addition to photographing vehicles, there is also a live-in RV. The RV is fully equipped with props and a pumping machine. Shanjun took a shower against the water pipe, Su Menjiao washed his hair with shower gel, and several female assistants were massaging Shanjun, foaming everywhere. The most outrageous thing is, there is also a female assistant to help Shanjun brush his teeth. It opened its bloody mouth with a look of enjoyment. It's not as good as the Tiger series. Shocked. Tens of millions of people watched a guy named Shanjun take a bath. Is this a distortion of human nature, or is it a moral degradation? Upstairs, I'll come to work tomorrow in the shock department. I have to say that Shanjun is the most humane of all the tigers raised. After washing, Chu Bai shook his body, and the water splashed on the women, and there was a sudden shouting and killing. Shanjun, come here, and his nails haven't been cut. Su Menjiao took out her nail clippers, and Chu Bai suddenly shook his head. The claws are cut, how else can he hunt? You know, the claw is the tiger's biggest weapon besides its fangs. Sister Menjiao, Shanjun actually shook his head. Does it understand you? Several female assistants looked stunned. They knew that Shanjun was human, but they didn't expect to be so smart that they knew what Su Menjiao meant. Shanjun won't become a spirit, will he? Several female assistants looked at each other. It's definitely a refinement. How can ordinary tigers be so smart? After the nail-cutting operation failed, the women started taking selfies again, and Chu Bai was very cooperative. Envy, jealousy, hatred. I'll pay 10,000 yuan to ask for a handsome photo of the Mountain King. I'll give 20,000. There was a burst of envy in the live broadcast room. Taking a selfie with the majestic Mountain King, this is the dream of many people. You know, even if it is a raised tiger, even if it is not wild, except for the breeder, who dares to approach the tiger. Shanjun is too smart, my son is your fan, and I also take a picture myself. A middle-aged woman stepped out of the vehicle. She is the bodyguard of the convoy. As soon as the middle-aged woman approached, Chu Bai walked away. Huh? The middle-aged woman had a question mark on her face. In the live broadcast room, netizens burst into laughter. Nima, I'm laughing to death, Shanjun still treats me differently. After the identification, it's a color tiger. Laughing out of tears, no, I can't help it at all. We're trained to not laugh unless we can't help it. Live broadcast, Tiger Roaring Grassland, slap the lion to death. Author, The Poetry of Gilgamesh. Chapter 27. After leaving the filming vehicle, Chu Bai inspected the territory, and after making sure that there were no intruders, he was ready to go out to hunt. The analog card has been depleted. He must go hunt powerful prey. In addition to the simulation card, it is the essence of flesh and blood. Roar. After a while, a low roar came. Chu Bai swept around, this is a lion. A moment later, he saw two male lions at the edge of the territory. One of them was an ordinary lion, and the other was so large that it looked a little bigger than him. Chu Bai became vigilant. The appearance is not the same as the real situation. It may be just a little bit worse visually, but the real weight may be far from the same. No doubt. The lion weighed no less than him. And weight undoubtedly represents combat effectiveness. Roar. Chu Bai stood on the top of the hill and burst out with a roar. The two male lions raised their heads, and in addition to the roar, they also smelled the edge of the territory. In a few moments, two lions broke into the territory. As the overlords of the steppe, they have never seen such a creature as a tiger. The two sides looked at each other in the air, but neither of them moved. The king has seen the king. Chu Bai raised his eyebrows. In that case, there is only a fight to the death. This is the territory he has encircled, and if he does not expel these 2 lions, where is the majesty of his lordship? Sister Menjiao, there are 2 lions, Shanjun will not be in danger, right? On the shooting vehicle, several female assistants showed worried expressions. After just a few days of contact with Shanjunke, they have already fallen in love with this humane tiger. Now that it meets a male lion, why aren't they worried? Finally met the lion. The king of the mountains will surely die. Look at that lion king, it's huge, and it can definitely crush the mountain king. For a while, Western netizens became excited. Since this time, Shanjun can be described as a big showman. Although there are many powerful lion alliances in the grassland, they are still ruthlessly stealing the limelight by the mountain king. They wished that Shanjun would be hunted by a lion and slap the face of the netizens of the Dragon Kingdom. Now, here's your chance. And this Lion King is huge. The strength seems to be even stronger than that of the Mountain King. At the same time, the live broadcast room was very responsive to the scene. The king has seen the king. Damn, it's burning. The long-awaited lion and tiger fight has finally begun. Who will win? The hostility in the live broadcast room from the beginning gradually quieted down, and the barrage was much less. No one wants to miss out on a great duel. Even if it's just for a second. The host, Lisabel, looked at the 2 people on the left and right and asked, Professor Kupil, Mr. Fat Tiger, the long-awaited lion and tiger fight has finally begun. Do you think the lion wins or the tiger wins? There is no doubt that the lions will win. Professor Kupil was expressionless, as if he had already guessed the end. Looks like the professor is very confident. Lisabel laughed. It's not a matter of confidence. Professor Kupil shook his head and continued, after these 4 or 5 days of live broadcasting, everyone knows that lions are social animals, and there have been lion and tiger fights before, but due to the large number of lions, there is no doubt that the tigers are defeated, and what we want to see is a one-on-one, solo duel. Now that there are 2 lions, how can the mountain lord win? If it's a lion king, I'm looking forward to it, it's going to be good research data. That's true. Lisabel nodded yes. Nearly 20 tigers had died before. But most of them are unfamiliar with the environment and have been beaten to death by lions. In order to verify the combat effectiveness, all netizens prefer to watch one-on-one duels. Mr. Fat Tiger, what do you think? After a while, Lisabel looked at Sun Wei. I don't think so. Sun Wei smiled faintly. What does it mean not necessarily? Lisabel continued. With the combat power of the mountain monarch, I don't know if it will be invincible, but these 2 lions can't kill it at all. Sun Wei said. 2 lions can't kill the mountain king, Lisabel was a little strange. Lions are the same as tigers. They are all apex predators. Duel alone, the outcome is unknown. Now 2 lions are fighting against a tiger, and Sun Wei actually said that he couldn't kill the mountain king. Isn't this the same as saying, did the tiger win? Hubris. The king of the mountains will surely be defeated. These are 2 male lions, and among them is the Lion King. Sure enough, Western netizens in the live broadcast room were furious. Wait. Something seems to have gone wrong. Isn't this Lion King Solo the Great? At this moment, Western netizens were dumbfounded. Damn, it's really a rope run. It's gone, the BGM is in vain, and the lion and tiger fight is gone. If you don't understand, just ask, what is the situation with Suo Runrin? All netizens looked confused. Western netizens were still excited before, but now why has the style of painting suddenly changed? Live broadcast, Tiger Roaring Grassland, slap the lion to death. Author, The Poetry of Gilgamesh. Chapter 28. If you don't understand, just ask. What's going on with this rope run? Regarding the reaction of Western netizens, Other netizens were confused. I was shouting before, why are you suddenly depressed now? It turned out to be a rope run. Not surprisingly, this game is stable, laughing and crying. At the same time, those who knew the inside story laughed. Did someone say the sermon? At the strong request of a group of netizens who know the inside story said. Speaking of the lion Solo, it is definitely a legendary lion on the savannah. Netizens who like to watch documentaries know that there are many legendary lions in this savannah that have attracted people's attention. Among them is the famous League of Bad Boys, and their leader, Ingela Larik, who is so large that he is known as the King of the Lion Kings. In addition, there is also the sixth Satan, known as the God of Death in the grassland. This guy hunts lions, not because of hunger at all, but for the sake of killing, and people today are terrified. In the alliance of lions, large and small, the Lion King is synonymous with majesty and bravery, and they are either fighting or on their way to battle. However, Solo the lion is an exception. What are the exceptions? Netizens were curious. The exception is that the lion Solo is too cowardly, and his behavior style is very different from that of other brave male lions. Our Emperor Solo is tall and strong, comparable to Xiangyu among lions, has the demeanor of the King of Lions, is known as the giant lion of the steppe, and often can make other male lions take the initiative to avoid as soon as he appears, or let other wandering male lions take the initiative to follow, competing to become its allies. But it is such a male lion with extremely good physical conditions and extremely large size, and his psychological quality is extremely poor. So far, the lion Solo has never fought any of the lions head-on. Once the war starts, Solo the Great will leave his allies behind and run away first, causing many allies to be killed by it, so he has the nickname of Solo Run Run. And this kind of thing. In this way, it is also legendary. A group of netizens laughed happily. This lion is also wonderful. The other lions are synonymous with bravery, either in battle or on the way to battle. But this guy hasn't even fought head-on? Perhaps, it's a good thing to run and slip away. In this way, a one-on-one, real lion and tiger fight is formed. Thinking of this, everyone became interested. You know, there are very few opportunities to fight alone in this grassland. Lions are basically found in groups. On the slope of the mountain, Chubai roared again, and at the same time released the tiger might. The lion Solo shuddered. He didn't move forward. The other male lion was not afraid, and let out a roar at Chubai. The two sides looked at each other, both majestic. Soon, Chubai moved. He took the initiative to approach the two male lions. This is his territory, and the dignity of the Lord must be defended. That's all. The two sides are getting closer. Chubai roared, and the two lions did the same, both testing each other. Bang bang. Bang 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 dash. After a while, a faint sound like a drum sounded. There has been, Imperial engine. It's finally time for war. In the live broadcast room, everyone was excited. After watching the live broadcast for so long, everyone naturally knows what kind of sound this is. This is the heartbeat of the Mountain King. It usually only appears during combat. Once it appears, it means that the battle is inevitable. The Imperial engine is still domineering. Look at the position of Suo Run. Are you ready to run? Well, the next victim, please. Don't talk, here we go. As the sound like an engine became more and more intense, Chubai took the initiative to charge towards the two male lions. In an instant, he vanished. Faced with two adult male lions, one of which was larger than him, he did not dare to slack off. Adrenaline, lightning rush. Both skills are enabled. In a few pounces, Chubai was already close to the two male lions. Roar. After a while, a roar sounded. I saw a male lion also rushing towards Chubai, without fear, showing the courage of the male lion. And yet, the lion Solo turned around and walked away without any hesitation. Chubai was a little surprised. Which play is this? He didn't know if it was the lion's ploy, but at this moment, he could only defeat the opponent in front of him first. In an instant, two beasts meet. Almost at the same time, the two beasts made the same movements, and both stood up. Intended to deter opponents. It is also waiting for an opportunity to launch an attack. Chubai raised his huge claws and slapped them out. But the male lion was extremely experienced in combat, and while turning his head to dodge, he opened his bloody mouth and bit at him. Roar! With a low roar, the two beasts scuffled together. The sturdy physique and streamlined muscles are all showing the world the art of violence. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Live broadcast, Tiger Roaring Grassland, Slap the Lion to Death. Author, The Poetry of Gilgamesh. Chapter 29. Worthy of Solo the Great. I didn't believe it before, but now I'm dumbfounded. This guy really didn't hesitate, turned around and ran. Watching the battle of the two fierce beasts, and then looking at the male lion Solo in the distance, netizens laughed. This guy really knows how to cheat his teammates. Without hesitation. It is worthy of being the emperor of the rope run. Don't talk, the duel has begun. Don't worry, they are both powerful predators, and they won't be able to tell the winner for a while. Immediately, everyone looked to the battle. As some of the most powerful predators on the surface, tigers and lions are known as fists to the flesh, with blood on each blow. Roar! The roar continued. Seeing the opportunity, Chubai rushed out. With a swish, his huge claws slammed into the lion like a thunderbolt. With a bang, the lion was knocked to the ground by a huge force. Roar! The male lion was also angry. As soon as the big sturdy guy got up, the opponent in front of him disappeared. In the next second, the afterimage flickered. Chubai is as fast as lightning. Appeared on the flanks of the lion. The male lion also seemed to hear the sound of a rapid heartbeat, and as soon as he turned around, he was knocked out by Chubai for 5 or 6 meters. Under the lightning storm. How terrifying his impact was. In an instant, Chubai pounced violently, opened his blood basin and bit the lion's neck. Locked the throat. That's the difference between victory and defeat. At the last moment, the lion turned his head and dodged the fatal move. Bang! In the midst of the lightning, Chubai stood up, slapped the lion's head, and directly slapped it to the ground. Bang bang bang! In a dull sound, Chubai waved his claws again and again. He has no fangs except for them. Claws are also sharp weapons. On the contrary, the male lion has far inferior paws to him, and this is the difference between canines and felines. In a matter of moments, the lion's head was smacked to flesh and blood. It seems the winner is decided. The battle seemed fierce, but the male lion was completely crushed by Chubai. Speed, strength, size. It's all Chubai's complete victory. If it was the male lion who escaped against him, the outcome may be unknown. But the male lion in front of him is just an ordinary lion, not even a lion king. How can he be his opponent? Gradually, Chubai completely suppressed the lion. I saw that the male lion was covered with scars, and blood was flowing all over the ground. And he didn't even have any scars on his body except that he was out of breath. The winner has been decided. The king of the mountains is better than the lion. In the live broadcast room, everyone also saw their eyebrows. It was clear that the mountain monarch had suppressed the lion, and it was only a matter of time before he killed the lion. To exaggerate it, the two sides are not on the same level at all. The king of the mountains is the king of the tigers. The target is a fierce beast of the Lion King level. And although this male lion is brave, it is only a slightly brave male lion, and it is not a lion king. As for running away, it's not possible. The speed of the mountain dwelling can't even catch up with the cheetah. The lion can only fight to the death, and there is a glimmer of life in the place where he dies. If you run away, you will be dead. The battle is not until the last moment, and no one knows the winner. Don't forget, the lion was only a skin wound and was not fatally wounded. This kind of fierce beast fights, and it only takes one throat lock to kill the opponent, so the lion has every chance. Western netizens do not give up, and can only put their hopes on the Jedi strike. As long as the throat is locked, can turn defeat into victory. In the live broadcast room, the host Lisabelle looked at the two people next to her and asked, "Professor Kupil, Mr. Fat Tiger, who do you think will win this lion and tiger fight?" "It's obvious, isn't it?" Sun Wei shrugged, a smile on the corner of his mouth. "Does Mr. Fat Tiger mean that Tiger can win?" asked Lisabelle. "Naturally." Sun Wei nodded yes. Lisabelle looked at the professor again and said, "Professor Kupil, what do you think?" Professor Kupil was silent for a moment and replied, "Judging from the current battle, Sanjun's victory rate has soared to about 70%, but..." "But what?" Lisabelle continued. Professor Kupil continued, "Netizens are right, the male lion suffers from skin trauma, although it will affect the combat effectiveness of the male lion, but it is not a fatal injury, as long as the mountain king is accidentally locked by the male lion once, one blow can tell the winner, so although the mountain king's winning rate is as high as 70%, I don't think the male lion has no chance." Hard-mouthed, continue to hard-mouthed. "It's so obvious, it's really hard to call a beast." In addition to the netizens of the Dragon Kingdom, other netizens also felt that Sanjun would win. Take 10,000 steps back and say, even if the mountain monarch does not win, it is impossible to lose. Let's wait and see. Lions are fierce beasts, ready to launch a deadly counterattack at any moment. Professor Kupil said lightly, "On the contrary, tigers are obviously different. In addition to hunting, lions spend their lives either fighting or on the way to defend their territory, while tigers hardly fight to the death with beasts of prey except hunting. You know, courage is also the key to victory or defeat. As long as the mountain king is injured, it will inevitably lose the courage to fight to the death. Isn't there an old saying in the Dragon Kingdom, when you meet on a narrow road, the brave wins, and I think this will be the turning point between victory and defeat." Live broadcast, Tiger Roaring Grassland, Slap the Lion to Death. Author, The Poetry of Gilgamesh. Chapter 30. Sure enough, the beast's mouth was the hardest all over its body. Looking at Professor Kupil's sophistry of not admitting defeat, Dragon Kingdom netizens ridiculed one after another. Admittedly, the beast had some point. But is Sanjun an ordinary tiger? That ghostly speed, that overwhelming power, will be locked by the lion's throat? If it were an ordinary tiger, it would be possible. But Sanjun definitely won't. For this, all fans have blind trust in Sanjun. The other side. The battle is nearing its end. Under Chu Bai's absolute speed and strength, the male lion was already covered in blood. The head was slapped to a flesh simulation. The body was covered in scratches. Roar. After a while, the male lion let out a terrible howl. Bang bang bang. The sound of a pounding heartbeat sounded. Chu Bai pounced and bit the lion's neck like a thunderbolt. Puff. In an instant, blood splattered. The male lion struggled hard, but he was never able to break free from Chu Bai's bloody mouth. As life passed, the resistance became weaker and weaker. Gradually, the lion fell. Sure enough, the two sides were not on the same level at all. The Mountain King is a fierce beast of the Tiger King level. And although this male lion is hot and brave, he is just an ordinary male lion, not a lion king, and naturally he is not the opponent of the Mountain King. In the live broadcast room, everyone sighed with emotion. They knew that the Mountain King was very powerful. From the ghostly speed, from the fight against dozens of jackals, they knew it. However, it is unclear how powerful it is. Now they know. There is no doubt about it. The Mountain King is already a fierce beast at the level of the Tiger King. Tiger King, dominate one side? In human terms, it is a king-level powerhouse. What's there to be proud of here? That lion is just an ordinary male lion. If it was the Lion King, it might not have turned out to be like this. That's right, there's a kind of going to a duel with the Lion King. Western netizens did not admit defeat, and even shouted. In this step, there are a lot of legendary Lion Kings. Undoubtedly, the combat effectiveness can deter one side with more than one enemy. Even if it's a Lion King. Shanjun is also the king of tigers, and the strength of the two sides is almost the same. With the same level, even if the mountain monarch can't win, at least he won't be defeated, right? Roar dash. Chu Bai stepped on the lion's corpse and roared in the sky. There was still red blood at the corner of his mouth. On his body, there was a faint amount of steam. It seems to be cloaked in a coat of energy, and it looks majestic. This scene. It's like the return of the king. This roar is also a proclamation. Starting today, this grassland welcomes a fearsome predator. Not far away. Su Menjiao and the others were dumbfounded. In their impression, Shanjun is very humane and a very docile tiger. But this scene in front of them tells them that no matter how human the tiger is, it is also a beast standing at the top of the food chain. For a while, several girls were a little afraid. Not so long ago. They also fought with Shanjun. Su Menjiao breathed a sigh of relief. Having lived with Shanjun for nearly 4 years, she naturally hopes that Shanjun can become stronger and adapt to this grassland. At the same time, the barrage in the live broadcast room flew up. What do you say about calling beasts? Why don't the Brick family speak? Longguo netizens looked at the show with a good face, and the barrage was questioning. Professor Couple's face turned pale. This time he was slapped in the face again. He was actually right. A large amount of data shows that in the duel of such top beasts, if you are not careful, you will die, and the male lion is not completely out of chance. It's a pity, he can't refute it. The facts are right in front of you. Compared with ordinary tigers, Shanjun is still too special. The ghostly speed and overwhelming power are incomparable to ordinary tigers. Obviously, the Mountain King is already the king of the tiger. From the current point of view, the strength of the mountain monarch is already on par with the most powerful Siberian tiger. I have to say, Shanjun is still fierce. In terms of size alone, it seems to be catching up with the Siberian tiger. That's right, Shanjun is indeed very powerful. Soon, netizens from the White Bear Federation came out en masse. It is also a technique of openly lifting the mountain monarch and secretly lifting the Siberian tiger. The crowd did not question it. No way, the size of the Siberian tiger is indeed huge. And body shape is a symbol of strength. Although many species of tigers have not fought each other, everyone assumes that weight is a measure of strength. Don't get too excited, the battle has just begun. The place where the mountain lord is located is the center of the entire reserve. So what? Netizens in the east may not know, so I will tell you in detail about the dangers in the heartland, as well as the distribution of the Lion King group. I want to hear about it. First of all, the powerful Bad Boys League occupies the north, with the West Street Lions to the west and the Confederate Lions to the south. And the powerful Bad Boys Alliance has conquered 70% of the territory of the reserve, and the entire lion pack is trembling under their minions, ruled by them in the dark, and only the male lions of the Federal Republic of Yugoslavia are still fighting against them. And the center is the land of the four wars, the Bad Boys Alliance, the West Street Lions, and the lions of the Yugoslav alliance may all haunt this place. No matter how powerful the Mountain King is, can he still fight against the lions of this reserve alone?